That's fine. We're just mirrored today. Everything's a little backwards. It's like the 99 finals.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Lunchroom Syndicate at the Jack Table. We are doing more of our NHL All-Time roster. I'm Christopher. This is Jay. That way.
Not just the Dallas Stars. We're throwing in the Minnesota North Stars also.
Does have one of my favorite players of all time, though. Talking about the one, the only one, the greatest U.S. player of all time, Mike Modano.
If it were up to me, he would have been in a Minnesota North Stars jersey.
Well, let's start with center.
Keith Acton, Neil Broden, Jude Droyan, Dave Gagne, Dennis Hextall, Mike Modano already up top, Joey Nieuwendyk, Mike Ribeiro, Brad Richards, Tyler Sagan, Bobby Smith, and Tim Young, who to me looks like a Brady Bunch version of Clay Matthews, this pitcher.
Dude, including with... He really does. I don't know him very well, but based off Neil Broughton's stats, I mean, it's hard to not put him on there.
If it weren't for Mike Modano, Neil Broden would be the face of this franchise.
Brad Richards being one of the few exceptions to this. He only has 220 games played with Dallas.
Yeah, 227 points in those 220 games.
I was gonna say, but a point.
Disrespect Brad Richards.
I was gonna say on a point per game player.
Make this roster.
No. The modern face of the franchise, or at least one of them, Tyler Sagan's in the conversation. An absolute steal of a get for Dallas in a trade with Boston that to this day still makes no damn sense.
I'm gonna eliminate a few here if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
Keith Acton, Jude Droyan, the uncle of Jonathan Droyan.
Yeah.
Dennis Hextall, the uncle of Ron Hextall. I think that's all the uncles.
Well, in the NHL, it's a family affair anyway, because everyone knows somebody. It's almost inbreeding at this point.
Well, these inbreeders are taken off. Joey Nieuwendyk is kind of a surprise. I think he's gone. Mike Ribeiro, I'm kind of surprised at that one. Before looking at the names, I thought Mike Ribeiro was going to be a sure thing on here. And now I'm not even putting him in consideration. Leaving three guys.
Brady Bunch.
Bobby Smith and Dave Gagne.
Just look at pure stats. Dave Gagne kind of pulls away a bit with games played, goals, and penalty minutes.
Yeah, fourth pick right there. So our centers, Mike Modano, Neil Broden, Tyler Sagan, Dave Gagne.
Pretty good center core.
Drop those fat beats. On there. I would just like to remind our YouTube audience here, just remind everybody, if you would like to join us live and join in the discussion and help us with our selections, you can join us over at twitch.tv. Christopher's got his station up and going, Zunker LRS. That is Zunker Lunchroom Syndicate. We stream over there for our hockey all-time teams Wednesday night at midnight.
Left defense.
I already have my three that I'd like to put up. Leaving off some great names here, but there's just... I think two of them are like, well, duh. And then one of them's just a personal favorite.
Well, I'm going to assume that Darion Hatcher is one of them.
I mean, it's got to be.
Yeah.
Darion Hatcher, like...
He was an asshole. He was the enforcer of those 90s and early 2000s Dallas teams. He was a beast. I remember watching him play. I'm like, this dude, I don't want to fuck with him.
But we also have Fred Barrett, Sean Chambers, Trevor Daley, Kurt Giles, Alex Goligoski, Craig Hartsburg, not to be confused with Greg Hartsburg, Miro Heiskanen, Gordy Roberts, Daryl Sador, and Mark Tenority. You got the first one. I'm going to go ahead and throw up the second one, which, again, I think is just a fucking no-brainer here. Daryl Sador.
I would eliminate... So, Alex Goligoski's gone. Miro Heiskanen is not there yet. Tenority just has a lot of shit ton of penalty minutes compared to games, but he would be someone that's on the fringes as well.
A shot blocking machine out there. Coming from a goalie, Mark Tenority's the guy I want there playing defense.
That's the problem with defensive defensemen sometimes, is just the stats aren't going to back them up.
So what's your call?
Gordy Roberts, because he's played a lot of games, he had a decent amount of points and penalty minutes, so he was a bit more offensive than maybe some of the other guys on this list, except for Craig Hartsburg, who has the best point per game of anybody on this list with pretty impressive 413 and 570. But his picture is not of him cross-checking somebody, so that's a negative.
You're wondering, well, why do they keep saying Craig and Greg? Because I'm looking up the guy and I keep typing in Greg Hartsburg. So this is one of the few pictures that was available for Greg Hartsburg. We may be eliminating him because I kept calling him Greg instead of Craig. I don't know if we can count that against him, but we might be.
I mean, we shouldn't, but we are.
Darion Hatcher, Daryl Sador, Gordy Roberts.
Let's do goalie.
For goalie, we have Don Berupe, we have Ed Belfour, Jonathan Casey, Kerry Letatonin, Giles Milach, Andy Moog, Marty Turco, and Cesar Maniago.
Who also played with the very apt amount of games played, 420.
And out of those 420, he did manage 145 wins.
He did.
And that's, it's real shit. But look, at his 145 wins, 26 of them by shutout. That mask on him there,
that mask
it's hard to leave him off. Who are we going with here? I think if we're looking at just the best goaltender on here, Ed Belfour.
Yeah, Ed Belfour was the starter for their cup team. The other person that I think of when I think of goaltenders for me is Marty Turco.
Marty Turco is the first one that I think of.
Yeah.
Let's finish up the back end.
All right.
Right defense. I think I'll let you handle this one. This one isn't too bad.
All right. This is gonna be fun. All right. For the right wing side here, we already said Sergei Zubov. This is already going well. We got Felipe Boucher, Barry Gibbs, John Klingberg, Brad Maxwell, and Stefan Robidas.
Sergei Zubov is a clear number one here.
Yeah, absolutely. The one that I know the best is John Klingberg. He's been a good point producer, not great defensively.
If you can say this guy is a more offensive weapon for your team than Sergei Zubov, Klingberg's number two. I don't know that I care a whole lot between the rest of these names.
I'm leaning towards Brad Maxwell.
Okay.
Because he had 300 points in 471 games.
Yeah.
Which is good. And he still had 1,000 penalty minutes.
Sergei Zubov, John Klingberg, Brad Maxwell for our right defenseman.
And we're going to go back to left wing, right?
To the left side. To that deluxe apartment in the sky. We have Brian Bellows, Jamie Benn, Danny Grant, Tom McCarthy, Basil McRae, Brendan Morrow, J.P. Parise, Stephen Payne, and Brian Propp. Look just over there at Basil. You know I like me an enforcer. And you have an enforcer with a C on his chest with the Minnesota North Stars, and his name's Basil. So to have that guy, and I'm like, no, he doesn't make it. That's hard for me, man.
That is hard because he's a captain for a reason.
That's my type of dude right there.
We might as well get to the easy three because we don't know the order, which is going to be tough. Morrow, Ben, and Bellows.
That's your order? The exact opposite of my order.
You went Bellows, Ben, and Morrow. Interesting.
What that does for us, though, is it moves Jamie Benn down to 3. Top 4, Brendan Morrow, Ryan Bellows, Jamie Benn, Basil McRae. And that leaves one position left, the right wing spot, with Dino Cicerelli, Russ Courtnall, Wolf Dahlin, the most beautiful man alive, Bill Goldsworthy.
Dude, what the fuck?
He puts that helmet on and he looks like he has full luxurious air flowing everywhere.
I just saw the one. Sorry. I didn't catch this at all until the very next one that you were about to say.
Bro, Jamie Langenbrunner, Yuri Lettinen, Al McAdam, Willie Plett, and Alexander Radulov. So, Zunk, what the hell are you even laughing about? We're over here talking about the beauty that is Bill Goldsworthy, and you start laughing.
Brett fucking Hall. One of your favorite players, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Brett Hall with 218 games played. Brett Hall getting deducted a goal only at 94 in his career with Dallas. This clearly isn't a fucking goal. You can see it. His skate's in the motherfucking crease. The puck is fucking out. There is an extremely easy one on here that's not named Bill Goldsworthy. That if you think somebody else is number one, I don't know what's going on. So obviously it is.
I'm gonna guess it's Yari Lettinen.
Wow. Man, we are not on the same page. I can't give you this one. I gave you over Brian Bellows. I cannot give you over Dino Cicerelli.
I mean, over a point per game player. I mean, I understand that, and more goals and assists, which is just hard to do when you get to that amount of game played and points. So fair enough. I do something stupid that's gonna get put in every fucking video. I don't know Dino Cicerelli that well, so that's why I came with Yuri Lettinen, because he's played a shit ton, has a good amount of points. I'll be honest, I mean, we make fun of his hair, but I think Bill Goldsworthy might be the next selection.
No, he is.
Despite whatever the hell is going on in that head.
It's not whatever the hell. That is a choice, and it is a good one.
Al McAdam had a good solid career with him, obviously. You could make a case for any of these guys.
I know you really liked Yuri Lettinen, and like he was your number one pick. I think outside of Dino Cicerelli, the whole right wing side is a little weaker. Thanks for tuning into the Lunchroom Syndicate at the Jap Table. I have been Jay.
And I have been Christopher.
Deuces. Jamie Benn is 6'2", 210 pounds, a pure man meat.
Goddamn man meat.